In one of the most remote corners of Utah's Red Rock Wilderness, a man walked into a narrow canyon, alone. He didn't bring a phone, he didn't tell anyone where he was going, and for the next 5 days, no one knew he even existed. By the time he emerged, he had amputated his own arm to stay alive. This is the unthinkable, real-life story of Aron Ralston and how the human will can defy all limits. On the morning of April 25th, 2003, Aron Ralston, 27 years old, was in high spirits. He lived for the wild, for isolation, for challenge. He had quit his job as an engineer to pursue his dream of conquering all Colorado's 14,000-foot peaks solo in winter. He wasn't just experienced, he was fearless. But sometimes confidence can be dangerous. He threw a few snacks, a water bottle, a headlamp, a digital camcorder, and a cheap multi-tool knife into his backpack. Then he drove into Canyonlands National Park without telling a soul. Bluejohn Canyon is beautiful but unforgiving. A twisting slot canyon, only a few feet wide in places. As he maneuvered through a narrow crevice, something shifted. A loose boulder above came dislodged. In one horrifying instant, it dropped, slamming his right hand against the wall, crushing it. Aron was trapped. He screamed in pain. He yanked. He twisted. He pushed with every muscle in his body. But the boulder, a slab weighing more than 800 pounds, wouldn't move. The canyon was so narrow, he couldn't even sit down comfortably. And the worst part, there was no way out, and no one knew he was there. Day 1, he rationed his food. Just a few sips of water. He used his climbing gear to try lifting the boulder. Nothing worked. Day 2, he carved his name, date of birth, and RIP on the canyon wall, just in case his body was ever found. Day 3, he began recording goodbye messages on his camcorder. To his mom, to his dad, to his sister. "I'm sorry, I love you all so much." Day 4, he ran out of water. He began drinking his own urine. At night, the temperature dropped below freezing. He hallucinated. He dreamed of escaping, of a child coming to him in the canyon. In one vision, he saw a future version of himself, missing an arm, holding a young boy. It gave him something he hadn't felt in days: hope. By day 5, his body was deteriorating. His arm was dead. He could smell the rotting flesh. Then it hit him. He couldn't move the rock, but maybe he didn't need to. Aron had some basic wilderness survival training. He knew where the arteries ran. He understood what shock felt like. He realized he would die there, unless he cut off his own arm. But his knife wasn't sharp enough. He couldn't cut through bone. Until he had a horrifying idea. Snap the bones. He twisted his arm violently, using the wall as leverage, until his radius and ulna broke with a loud crack. Then, slowly, painfully, it took over an hour. He lost blood. He nearly passed out. But then, he was free. With one arm, he rappelled 65 feet down a cliff, then began hiking 6 miles through the desert, leaving a trail of blood behind him. He was sunburned, weak, and moments from collapse when he saw a family hiking nearby. They rushed to get help. A helicopter arrived within an hour. Aron was airlifted to a hospital. He had lost 40 pounds, nearly 25% of his blood volume, and suffered severe dehydration. Doctors said he was within hours of death. And yet, he smiled. He was alive. News of his survival spread like wildfire. He became a symbol of determination, grit, and survival. He wrote a memoir, Between a Rock and a Hard Place. Hollywood turned it into a movie. 127 Hours, starring James Franco. Audiences wept. Many fainted in theaters during the amputation scene. But Aron never dramatized it. He just told the truth. Aron went back to the wild. He climbed mountains. He kayaked through the Grand Canyon. He learned to live with a prosthetic arm. And he became a public speaker, sharing his message across the world. His main lesson? You can't control everything, but you can control how you react. His severed arm was later recovered. He chose to cremate it and scatter the ashes in Bluejohn Canyon. He even returned to visit the exact spot. The boulder is still there, still silent, still waiting.